Hello to everybody.
Hi. Hello.
And I'm very honored to have my distinguished guest, the infrastructure leader.
I'm a technology leader. I'm sales leader.
So I'm very happy to be coordinating a very important discussion today, which is called setting up a business. I'll give a little background about myself. I'm a manufacturing industry business development leader, and today I have the luxury of having experts from this line. So gentlemen, I have two dimensions of the topic. One is setting up an entirely new business. Second one is taking the initiative of setting up a new business in a running business.
Okay.
So I want to hear from you in the context of doing this kind of activity in India. What are the challenges you face? What is your advice? How should one go about?
I think from what I've done in my experience, the first thing if you have to get into the market space, right, you have to step your footing stone should be based on market intelligence, right? For three things. Number one, identify an opportunity where the response of the customers are good. Second of all, you'll have to understand the competitive space in terms of what the other people are stepping into the same space and what the revenue opportunities are. That would decide and that will lay a footing stone for you to understand what the return of investments are. I guess that's the first step you have to do.
Right. So what do you feel? Do you have...
In fact, that should be the way to go, because this will give you a perspective of whether the business is liable, is a valid business or not, and whether you would be able to get the return of investment which you're looking forward to.
Okay.
And whether the business will at all be thriving forward in this competitive market. So I think we are talking about it, setting up a completely new business when you're entering into India and then doing that. I will go to the next step, that once you have done the initial survey and you have picked up some of those key points, now it's time to go back to the drawing board and figure out whether the business is viable or not, and the kind of funds you are looking forward to, and what is the return of investment you are expecting, and whether you can sustain that business on an ongoing basis for a longer period. So we take it 5 to 10 years kind of time frame, whether the business, whether the product, whether the solution, what we are thinking, would continue and be addressing the market and be required in the market for those many years or not.
So both of you, what you fundamentally say is that you need to look at financials of the organization. Sustainability, return, capital formation. So these are, why don't we hear from the technology leader what he has to say on the technology front?
Yeah, I am very happy to be here, and I would like to share my experience. I had both the experience. One is existing business and how to take it further. And then I wanted to start a new business in Bangalore. That was giving a very good opportunity for me to exercise all my technical capabilities. Yes, we do agree that yes, the business is set up and the requirements are set up and then the return on investment, everything is planned. Then comes the product development. That is what type of technology we are going to do, and then whether we are having the required manpower for doing such activities. And I had an opportunity to work with the European guys. The basic fundamental problem was they wanted to transfer or transit all the jobs from Europe to India. So they were looking for whether India, especially in Bangalore, do we have the required manpower and the exposure to do the product development. So it was a challenge, but we have identified many resources for doing such things, and then we had a good process of developing the product as well as we could deliver at the international level. So that was the existing business. I could do that. In the new business, it is totally a new scenario. That is totally a new organization to be set up, and then the organization structure, what is the budget, and what price we have to deliver this product. So that was a good challenge, but we could do it based on the past experience.
So he has brought in a new dimension that one is having a technology partnership as a way of positioning the product. Second one is he didn't elaborate. What I find was, in my experience, 2-3 things. Talent acquisition is one of the biggest challenges, because when you start a business, you need to be visible and you need to get the right people in place. So I would say HR practices of putting right people in place, giving them the growth opportunities, setting up the good HR processes for recognition of talent. This is one. Second one I find is India is a very, I would say, a differently structured country in terms of compliances. You have many compliances in terms of monthly, quarterly, maybe a sales tax, a professional tax, so many taxation. It's a complicated system. So you need to have a very good compliance team. Maybe when you start a business, you don't have a very big team, but you need to have people who understand this process.
The rules and regulations, the government
Exactly.
policies.
So in my
That's a very important factor altogether, because before you get into the next step of HR and all, it's very, very important whether the business adheres to the whole set of rules, because it's quite stringent in India, and there are people who are very knowledgeable about all this. So we need to ensure that they're on board and give us a problem, because somewhere you get stuck up with the policies or some licensing with the government, then your whole time frame goes for a
Positive,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's- so exactly, right? So when we've made a decision in terms of going forward with the business, I guess from my viewpoint, three people are very important, right? Three consultants. One was exactly what I was talking about, the so-called the taxation part. So you have to bring in a financial consultant. Second, then next is a legal consultant, because they are the people who can analyze and tell you what kind of benefits this segment of market you can leverage from the government, right? And what kind of, there's a 13-step process which involves working through Commerce Ministry, Trade Ministry, Trade License, PAN, DIN, etc. Right? So 13-step process. So I guess we need to have at least two consultants, and then working through the HR. Before we jump into going back and scaling up, the first thing you'll have to design is a framework of what kind of an IT proposal you would develop to successfully engage into an employment. Like if you're going to bring an employee and you don't have a structure, you're not going to succeed. So you need to bring in that kind of expertise which you have to involve in planning.
Yeah, true, correct. Because see what happens, one is not only the structure of the, what you call the infrastructure,
Correct.
let's say, it is also the way we are organized. I take, for
Correct.
example, technology, if you're talking about the high end of technology, one of the objectives would be to export.
Yes.
So suppose you have to make a choice whether you are setting up an EOU or an SEZ
Yeah, correct.
or a duty drawback scheme. We have this kind of complicated opportunities, I would say.
Yeah.
So some people may say that it is a stumbling block, but I always believe that in a country like ours, where you have to balance so many things, the rich, the poor, the social obligations, the finances, politics, like in many places, there are a host of views like about the same point. So as rightly pointed out, one is we need to care for the financials, the marketing, the infrastructure, the people, and the technology. And one more thing I want to point out at this point is, most of the organizations tend to grow very big, then they feel that they have forgotten to do something back to the society.
Social
I think CSR should start from the
Yes.
beginning.
No,
It's not in a small.
That's an interesting question. That's an interesting topic, because you're talking about specifically your second area where you expand. You have an existing brand and you're expanding. I guess two things that primarily become secondary focus for organization there is when you're taking on a segment of acquisition, right? Compatibility of policy should always be looked at. I guess they put it in the secondary manner. I guess that's the first thing, because you're trying to shift the people and all of a sudden you have policy gaps. I think that's important, especially in the transition. And second of all, in terms of the scenarios like this, the legalities and all that, they tend to defer this, right? So supporting your initiative. I guess structuring this, to handle it sequentially is very, very important.
And the CSR should be globally, it should be accepted by other people also. It is not pertaining to this country, and it should be well balanced.
Considering the policies.
Yes.
And,
That
So
also
if
be
you're taking from the queue, you had mentioned the social obligation. I think that should be imbibed right from the initial stage.
Exactly.
It's not that once we grow to a certain stage, then we start thinking about the society. So it should be part and parcel of the very vision and mission of the organization.
Inherent. It's inherent, yeah.
It's inherent.
So to sum up, could I put it like this? What you say is that financials have to be taken care.
yeah, correct.
Compliance has to be done on time, every time. It should be
legality.
Yeah, legality, the people orientedness of the entire organization,
Yes.
structured way of doing business, and paying back to the society.
Society.
So these are all the pillars.
Right.
So thank you all of you. Thanks for your time and thanks for your
Thank you.
inputs.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.